Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Ronnie Stockholm. Welcome to a very special NWC presentation. Our reigning, defending world champion Angel Face Damion Black has celebrated a birthday this weekend, and the National Wrestling Council wants to honor him and his accomplishments with this very special 3-match wrestling card. You're about to see 3 wrestling matches curated by our world champion himself. There's going to be some fantastic in-ring action from several title holders in the NWC. We can't wait to show it to you, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take you to ringside. Our first match of the evening will be a singles contest featuring the masked Marvel Mil Mojitos, the man of 1,000 drinks, taking on your mother's champion, Lord Bartholomew Brawler Beckett. This should be an absolutely amazing singles encounter featuring 2 wrestlers of very divergent styles. Of course, Mil Mojitos, the protege of Tiger Gold, and Brawler Beckett, a longtime veteran, currently experiencing a fantastic showing in the NWC #1 Contenders World Title Tournament. This should be a really exciting match. Of course, on one hand, you've got Mil Mojitos, a perennial crowd favorite, an up-and-comer with a whole bunch of upside, and on the other side, you've got Brawler Beckett, ladies and gentlemen, a man who needs no introduction, but I'm sure he'll give you one anyway. Mil Mojitos heading to the ring, wearing that fantastic loud attire there, accompanied by just the dangest pyros. Let me tell you. This guy here has a pyro budget that exceeds that of most main eventers. Mil Mojitos, of course, really making waves in the merchandising wing there. A very popular luchador who's really been a hit with the kids. I don't know if they're quite aware that his gimmick is alcohol-based, but still. Mojitos an extremely impressive singles and tag team wrestler. And he'll have his hands full tonight as he takes on the perpetually perturbed Brawler Beckett. Brawler Beckett was not thrilled to find out that he'd be participating in a match to celebrate the accomplishments of someone other than himself. But when he found out he was getting paid, it definitely sweetened the deal for him. Brawler Beckett, of course, just a dastardly individual who has used every bit of his wily veteran acumen to score so far an extremely good record in the #1 Contender Tournament. Has accounted for himself extremely well here in the NWC so far. We'll see if that luck will continue today. Referee rings the bell, and this match is underway. Mojitos starting off by sending Beckett into the corner, but oh my goodness, Beckett gets out of the way, and Mojito is stuck in the corner there, but manages to free himself with a kick to the forehead of Brawler Beckett, and another flying kick. Showing a real vicious streak here. Tiger Gold has been letting Mil Mojitos know that if he's going to succeed in this cutthroat business, he's going to have to develop himself a mean streak. It looks like he is giving Brawler Beckett no quarter. I'm sure that's good advice from any veteran there. Do not turn your back on Brawler Beckett. Do not give him a second to collect himself. Big double knee drop right into the back of Beckett. Tries to go for some punches, but Beckett rolls him over and lands a few hard rights himself. They don't call him the Brawler for nothing. Begins to try to Charlie horse the left leg of Mil Mojitos with a series of knees. And Beckett definitely trying to control this pace, but eats a forearm from Mojitos. Mojitos goes for a quick pin. Only a 1 count. It's going to take a lot more than that to keep Brawler Beckett down. And again, Mojitos just going to town with the fists. I think he's heard a story or two about Brawler Beckett. You know, Mojitos is a very moral individual, and I have to think that the reputation of Brawler Beckett probably sticks right in Mojitos' craw. Beckett with a big right forearm drops the Masked Man into the corner, and he's just standing on him with that leg. Brawler Beckett kicking at the knee of Mil Mojitos, and not quite sure what that maneuver accomplishes, but it certainly did seem to knock Mojitos down, box those ears a little bit, and a series of hard right legs right into the thigh of Mil Mojitos. If Mojitos can't walk, if he can't make use of his extremities, he's going to have a hard time taking full advantage of that high-flying offense that he's so adept at delivering. Brawler Beckett with a backbreaker out there on the floor. Beckett sends Mojitos into the barricade, and as he's coming out of the barricade, just collides with him with a flying choke. Wow! A big suplex sends Mojitos into the barricade feet first. Brawler Beckett is vicious out there. He is not getting paid by the hour, and he wants to finish this thing fast. Don't think for a second that Brawler Beckett is above taking a count-out victory if he can find a way to swing it. And look at that, Beckett heading back into trying to accomplish that very thing. Oh, he's staring down the Masked Man, daring him to come back in. It's a no-win situation for Mojitos. If he comes back in, he's going to be at the mercy of Beckett, who's waiting for him. And Brawler Beckett kicks him on the way down, goes for a pin right in the center of the ring. And a solid 2 count. Beckett beside himself, but I have to think Mojitos got a little bit more in him than that. But Beckett angry now. Just driving knees right into the side of the mask of Mil Mojitos. Oh, and Mojitos meets him right in the middle of the ring, starts just unloading on him with a series of rights and lefts, finishing with a kick right to the side of the head. Mil Mojitos has not come to play. He knows what a win over a wrestler as accomplished as Beckett could do for his future here in the NWC. Beckett trying to drag himself to his feet. And Mojitos manages to spear Beckett right between the ropes, sending him to the floor. Beckett, trying to collect himself outside, manages to completely sidestep that plancha and answers with a big-time double axe handle off the top rope. Brawler Beckett is always aware of where he is at in the ring. Just, oh, look at this despicable display. Just taunting his opponent. Knee to the back of his head. And just, I believe he might have been going for the mask there. Brawler Beckett would love nothing more than to twist that mask around to where Mojitos can't see him properly. Beckett interrupting the count. But Mojitos able to get on top of him and just unloading with open palm strikes to the exposed face of the Brummy Brawler. And he sends Beckett back into the ring. So far, this has been a pretty even contest, but you've got to think that the hard striking offense that Beckett's been delivering has got to be working on the smaller opponent of his. But Mojitos starting to really feel it, calling to the crowd, trying to get support from his legion of fans outside. And takes Beckett down with just a vicious, vicious clothesline. Sends the Brawler back into the ring. attempts to utilize the ropes, but is caught by Beckett. Beckett sends him into the far turnbuckle, goes for a splash, but Mojito's not there, nobody home. Mil Mojitos did his homework. He is most definitely has spent some time watching tape. He is countering the best offense that Beckett has to offer. Punch spins Beckett around. And a European uppercut right to the small of the neck there has Brawler Beckett dazed. Kick to the knee, and look at this here. Mojitos is up. Pina Collider right in the center of the ring. Goes for the pin. 1, 2, and Beckett barely gets a shoulder up. Folks, I thought that was going to be it. That is, I've seen Mojitos finish many a match with the Pina Collider. Beckett turns him upside down and inside out with a power slam off the ropes. Oh, but he's celebrating a bit too soon and eats a drop kick for good measure. Scoops the Brawler up. Powerbomb followed by a knee shiver right to the jaw. I don't think that Beckett was prepared for the speed, the relentless speed and the sudden intensity of Mil Mojitos. Mojitos now just laying into the side and to the side of the head with those boots. And now tying Beckett in knots, has that wrist bent back. And a pair of double knees right to the kidneys of Brawler Beckett. But Beckett manages to get a foot right in Mojito's eyes. And just goes to town on the back of his head and letting the crowd know that he is not, in fact, fazed by this offense. Beckett up. And a big suplex right in the middle of the ring. Paused for a moment to let all that blood rush to the head of Mojitos. Oh, and Mojito sent stumbling back from a series of right hands. Oh, and would you look at that? Beckett just raking the wrist tape right across the masked face of Mojitos, using his own mask as a weapon against him, and just choking him out in the corner. Brawler Beckett using every bit of that 4 count. And again, just drops a knee on the back of Mojito, and look at him just preening to the crowd. Disgusting individual, Brawler Beckett. And a dragon screw leg whip, hangs onto the leg and just whips it to the ground. And Brawler Beckett cutting the face of Mojito with those boots. But just like that, Mojito turns it around by sending Beckett out with a flying clothesline. Beckett back in the ring and eats a forearm as well. Brawler Beckett is reeling, ladies and gentlemen. Mojito going for a punch, gets kicked in the stomach. Beckett countered back and forth, neither man giving an inch. But Mojito, with just a blazing combination, takes the Brawler down. What a fantastic match, ladies and gentlemen. Goes to work on the shoulder. And a big-time clothesline, and a second one. Mojito's feeling it. Sweeps Beckett's leg out from underneath him. Calls to the crowd, letting them know that he appreciates their support. And Mojito's on the top rope. Beckett doesn't see him. Beckett is dazed and standing, coming to his feet. And just eats a kick right to the mush. Mojito's going for the pin. 1, 2, and 3. Ladies and gentlemen, Mil Mojitos has pinned Brawler Bartholomew Beckett. That is the biggest win of Mojito's career by a margin. Oh my goodness, what a match. An absolutely stellar affair that could have gone either way. Mojitos with a heads-up kick right to the side of the cranium takes Beckett down. 3 count. Mil Mojitos looking very stoic, very serious, appreciating the seriousness of what has occurred, aware of just what he has accomplished. And Brawler Beckett outside licking his wounds, no doubt going to have some sort of excuse as to why this match turned out the way that it did. But in truth, Beckett has absolutely nothing to complain about. He did phenomenal in this match. This could have gone either way. But tonight, on this occasion, Mil Mojitos is your winner. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we're on to our second of 3 matches for the evening. Look at this. We have Reckless Love, the reigning, defending PWA Tag Team Champions, taking on, my goodness, look at this pair, ladies and gentlemen, Angel Face Damion Black and a red, black, and white clad Alyssa Wilde. Now, why are these two teaming together, folks? If you haven't been paying attention for very long, PWA has a phenomenal tournament known as the King of Deathmatch tournament that is run annually, and its format sees randomly chosen opponents teaming together in tag team hardcore encounters. The winning tag team in the tournament ends up facing each other in a no-holds-barred match. And last year, Damion Black and Alyssa Wilde drew the straws. They teamed together, made it all the way to the finals. So these two have quite a bit of tag team chemistry, and they're going to need all of that chemistry because they are taking on this duo that is not afraid to show public affection. Titus and Cynthia Love, ladies and gentlemen. This married couple is the reigning, defending tag team in PWA. Cynthia Love, the ever-present mean girl. Titus Love, the doting husband. These two are an absolute force in the ring, despite some of their antics. And they are going to need every bit of that because they are facing, this evening, a very formidable team with quite the history. You have, of course, Alyssa Wilde, former PWA Trios champion, a finalist in the King of the Deathmatch, the matriarch and head trainer of the Wild Academy of Wrestling, and her tag team partner, Angel Face Damion Black, the reigning, defending NWC World Champion, the only world championship recognized by the National Wrestling Council, and this gentleman is also the birthday boy. He's why we're here tonight. We are here to celebrate Damion Black as he celebrates his 117th birthday here with us. And what better way to celebrate than to show that he still has it, as and in singles and tag team action. He would love nothing more than to get a moral victory over the reigning PWA Tag Team Champions, a belt that he has not personally held. Of course, these are mixed tag team rules. That means that the women fight the women and the men fight the men. As soon as a tag is made, the tagged-in wrestler's gender counterpart on the other team will automatically be tagged in. This is first fall to a finish. Alyssa starting things off fast with a sliding Greco-plex, taking Cynthia Love down. These two are no strangers to each other. They fought each other many times in PWA. Cynthia Love with a gutbuster, taking the larger, stronger Alyssa Wilde down to the mat. Heading to the corner, slams her head first into her turnbuckle, while Titus looks on, cheering his wife on. I have never met a husband that was so in love with his wife, and you'd think that'd be a good thing, except Cynthia herself is quite a piece of work, if I'm being honest. She's very mean to her husband, if I'm being fully truthful about it, and I'm not entirely sure that all of his affections are reciprocated. But it's hard to feel bad for him because he's such a toolbox. Let me tell you. Big kick takes Alyssa Wilde down. Cynthia, a vicious, vicious competitor with some great amateur skills. Speaking of amateur skills, Titus Love, a multi-time state champion in amateur wrestling in the 230-pound weight class. But he is taking on someone who exudes excellence in wrestling. Damion Black with a kick to the stomach of Titus Love. And a fisherman suplex takes the tag team champion down. And also a gut-wrench suplex. And Damion Black is feeling it. You know, it's an interesting thing. One thing that we saw back during the King of Deathmatch tournament is that Damion Black and Alyssa Wilde are both extremely competitive. So I have a feeling that what we're seeing here is a little bit of anything you can do, I can do better friendly competition. big-time suplex right into the turnbuckle. So far, Titus Love accounting for himself very well against the world champion. Count of 2, and Damion Black gets his shoulder up. Titus with a crisp dropkick. There is nobody in the Prestige Wrestling Association who delivers a stiffer, crisper dropkick than Titus Love. Double underhook powerbomb to the world champion. Titus, of course, would love to have a great showing against the champion tonight because he would very much enjoy a chance at that NWC championship belt, and pinning or submitting the champion is certainly a great way to get the championship committee's eyes on you. Titus sends Damion to the ropes and kitchen sink right to the solar plexus. Oh, and Damion with a low elbow. That might have gone a bit south of the border, actually. Unintentionally, I'm sure. Damion Black scoops Titus up. Back breaker. Almost a hip breaker there. That's a good way to dislocate a hip. Damion Black following Titus to the outside, but Titus there to meet him with a dirty punch. And a fisherman suplex of his own right on that mat. Damion Black picks Titus up, fireman's carry, and just rams him kidney first right into the barricade. Never let it be said that Damion Black doesn't have a vicious streak. There's not much he's not willing to do in order to get an advantage. Damion Black taking a moment to break the count. And Titus with a beautiful head scissor takedown. Damion Black back inside, but Titus has him, sends him to the ropes, and a full Nelson suplex, a dragon suplex, right into the mat. Beautiful amateur skills. Speaking of skills, a release angel suplex. That could have been the end of the match there, folks. Damion looking, though, to get it to get Alyssa in, and gets caught in an atomic drop and a drop kick. Black fires back, and there we have yet another angel suplex. Holds on for the pin this time, but Cynthia Love able to break it up. Damion Black, sleeper hold. He is a master of the sleeper hold, ladies and gentlemen. Damion Black has finished many matches with this. Cynthia trying to get around and make him release the hold. Titus slams him down. He's going to go ahead and take a powder. He's taking quite a bit of damage. Tags out to Cynthia, which means now Alyssa is in the ring. Cynthia sends Alyssa to the ropes. And just they slam shoulder to shoulder. Neither woman giving an inch, but Cynthia twists around. Wow, would you look at the agility of Cynthia Love. A cartwheel DDT. Almost a sliced bread sort of maneuver. And sends a forearm straight to the jaw of the mother of Nikki Wilde. Of course, you notice the outfit that oh, would you look at that innovative offense there, a foot right to the face. I was just saying there, you look at the outfit that Alyssa is wearing, that red, black, and white, that was gifted to her by Damion Black for their tag team. It's interesting that she kept it. I guess I don't really have anything else to say about that, but interesting observation that she chose to keep it. Oh, and look at that, ladies and gentlemen. We have a dragon sleeper. That's a Wild family specialty. Cynthia really being cranked back on. Is Alyssa going to be able to get a pin, to get a submission here? Oh, one shot, two shots, three shots right to the side of the head. Forces Alyssa to give it up. Cynthia sends Alyssa Wilde to the ropes. Goes for a back elbow, but then settles for a drop kick when that doesn't go anywhere, and just starts slamming the head of Alyssa Wilde into the mat. Cynthia accounting for herself very well as outside the ring. Titus Love and Damion Black just brawling. That means these women do not have any backup. It is just Cynthia versus Alyssa with no one on the other side to help break up a pin, so we could be nearing the end game in this match here. Cynthia puts Alyssa on the top. What is she going to do? Has her by the neck. Wow! Inverted suplex into a version of a powerbomb. My goodness, what an incredible maneuver. And Alyssa kicks out at 2.5. That was as close as it's going to get, ladies and gentlemen. But of course, close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, as they say. Big hit to the side of Alyssa's head. Alyssa fires back. She gives as well as she takes and drops Cynthia with a quick kick. Very similar to the one that Mojito just won his match with. But Cynthia manages to kick out at 2. Alyssa dropping a knee right into the back of Cynthia's head. Calling to the crowd, feeling it, but Cynthia catches her napping, sends her to the ropes, ducks underneath, and a shoulder-to-shoulder collision. Oh, but Alyssa there, kick to the stomach, surgical strike out of nowhere. 1, 2, and 3. Ladies and gentlemen, wow, that was sudden. Alyssa Wilde reversing a reversal into a kick and a surgical strike for the win after an impressive display by our tag champions. But on this night, on this occasion, Damion and Alyssa are your winners, which, I don't know, is this a one-time thing? Will we be seeing these two team again? Certainly those tag team titles would look good around their waists. But who knows, ladies and gentlemen? Only time will tell. But for now, Damion Black, the birthday boy, and Alyssa Wilde are your winners. And speaking of winners, we have 5 winners represented in this coming match. We have the Masked Invaders, who are the current INCW Tag Team Champions, and they'll be taking on Forever Unchained, FU, which of course consists of Derek Arzon, who is the PWA Light Heavyweight Champion and the INCW Openweight Champion, the Spoiler, who is the PWA Heavyweight Champion, and of course they will be flanked by their teammate, the White Rabbit Nikki Wilde, who is the INCW Women's Champion. You will not see a more star-studded match of successful grapplers than what you're about to see here. Now, this match holds a lot of significance because for a while, the INCW Tag Team Championship was under dispute. FU was stripped of the titles. They were fired from the company. When they came back, they insisted that they were still the real tag team champions. They paraded around with a false set of tag belts. In the meantime, though, the Masked Invaders had won a tournament and become the officially recognized INCW Tag Team Champions. So the Masked Invaders and Forever Unchained ended up facing each other in a title unification match to determine the undisputed INCW Tag Team Champions. And the Masked Invaders were in fact successful, but don't feel too bad about FU because they went on individually to acquire tremendous amounts of success and gold in INCW, which they have brought with them and continued to exhibit the greatness of their championship reigns here in NWC. So tonight, there are no belts on the line. This is going to be an exhibition match, but what Damion Black has requested, he thought that these two teams put together a tremendous match when they were in INCW, and he wanted to see it again. So we're going to see a moral victory rematch between these teams. The titles are not on the line. The champions, the Masked Invaders, are not in danger of losing their titles tonight, but we do get bragging rights here. And would you look at this trio of disrespectful individuals. Derek Arzon currently wearing the PWA Light Heavyweight Championship. The Spoiler wearing the PWA Heavyweight Championship. Spoiler, of course, won that from Akira Wilde back in PWA. And Nikki Wilde wearing the INCW Women's Championship. These three were instrumental in the shuttering the doors of the day-to-day operations of INCW, and they have brought all of that anti-establishment aggression to the National Wrestling Council's flagship show. Now, of course, Nikki Wilde is going to be the X factor in this match. She'll be outside the ring, but when has that ever stopped her from being seen and heard? Derek Arzon starting out with Invader number 1, has the Masked Invader up and drops him hard on his knee. Now remember, folks, this is a 2 out of 3 falls match, mimicking the same kind of action you get in our NWC recognized title matches. The first team to score 2 pinfalls, submissions, countouts, or disqualifications will be the winner tonight. And while Forever Unchained cannot win the titles in this way, certainly this would put them in contention for any sort of tag team titles that they deemed in their interest. The Invader just dragging Arzon's eyes right across those ropes. That just goes to show you here, the Masked Invaders are no saints, ladies and gentlemen. They are down and dirty fighters, willing to do whatever it takes to get the victory. Invader number 1 taking Arzon to the corner and tags out to his partner, Invader number 2. These two are tag team specialists, ladies and gentlemen. Expect a lot of tag team synergy. Invader number 2 going to work on the arm of Derek Arzon. Also picks him up and just drops him stomach first on that mat. Goes for the pin. Spoiler 3 in to break up the pinfall. Spoiler 3, of course, a dangerous individual. Arzon able to make a hot tag to the Spoiler. He throws an elbow into Invader number 2, sends him to the ropes, and the two go shoulder to shoulder, but no man moves. But would you look at that, Invader 2 sends Spoiler straight into the turnbuckle. Wow, there's that viciousness that we were talking about, that cold efficiency. Not a lot of the old saying is no flips, just fists. The Invaders are not a high-flying, spectacular, flashy team, but what they lack in presentation, they make up for with just hard-hitting viciousness. There's an old-school mentality to their presentation that really harkens back to the greats of the 60s and 70s of the squared circle. Oh, Derek Arzon, quick like a cat, avoiding the Invader, but ends up getting caught, had his throat dropped across the top rope there, taking him temporarily out of the equation. But Spoiler, more than able to hold his own. Big flying elbow drop on top of the Invader. And drops a shin right on the bicep of Masked Invader number 2. Spoiler heading back into the ring. Uncharacteristically not pushing the issue on the outside. Usually he likes taking advantage of that hardware. Oh, but look at this. He's got a game plan. Throws Invader number 1 inside, while outside the ring, a distracted Invader 2 just gets besieged by Derek Arzon. Arzon putting the hurt on the legal man over there, while the other Invader is still dazed and unable to come to his partner's aid. Invader number 1 back in, but how much damage has been done? Eats a huge boot by the Spoiler. Spoiler again dropping a shin right into the bicep there of Invader number. Oh, I've lost count now. I believe that is that Invader number 2. Well, let's see here. Spoiler picks the Invader up and just slams him down, bouncing his head off that bottom turnbuckle. Goodness. That's Invader number 1, ladies and gentlemen, who eats a big clothesline to the back of his head, but while Spoiler's conferring with Arzon, the Invader is escaping, manages to make a hot tag to his partner. Invader number 2 is in, manages to clip him with just the edge of that double axe handle. But would you look at that shoulder breaker? Oh, that is a vicious shoulder breaker. Oh, went for a football kick too, but I believe that glanced right off the edge of Spoiler's mask without making solid contact. Spoiler tags out to Derek Arzon. These two are no slouches in the tag team ways either. Double backdrop to Invader number 2, who is trying to take a powder, get a bit of a rest out there, but there is no rest when you find yourself falling at the feet of the Invader. Arzon comes in, collides with, gets a little bit of the Invader, but Invader able to get Spoiler over in a big suplex on the floor. Arzon with a single arm DDT and hangs on for good measure. Of course, Derek Arzon looking to try to weaken that limb in preparation for the arm blitz, a vicious spinning arm submission hold. Sends the Invader back inside the ring, and he is crawling for his corner, but Arzon not able to stop him in time. Invader number 1 back in the ring. I'll tell you. Oh, but Arzon is able to cinch in that arm blitz. But look at that, look at that. The Invader has his arm bent. He is not letting Derek Arzon extend it fully. As long as he can keep it like that, he's not going to get submitted. But Arzon is pulling on it like crazy. And yes, it looked like he almost straightened the limb, but the Invader able to maneuver his way out of it. Excellent heads-up work by the Masked Invader number 1, who clubs Arzon, goes for a pin, and immediately Spoiler in to stop the pinfall. Spoiler's ring awareness is second to none. He heads to the outside, though. Oh, and this is an interesting moment, folks. Both the Spoiler and Invader number 2 are occupied outside. That makes these two ripe for a match finish. We could see a fall dropped very shortly. Spoiler, though, making his way back to his part of the ring. But we've got a submission hold on Derek Arzon. And oh my goodness, it looked like Spoiler was trying to stop that, but he ended up putting a full drop kick right into the face of the referee. Well, the referee certainly can't count to 3 if he's unconscious, so I guess that's one way to stop the referee from calling his partner out there. Derek Arzon with a Hurricane Rana just right on top of the referee. That referee just got clocked a second time by the feet of the Invader. And look at that, Derek Arzon. Well, this might have backfired on them, folks. He had the arm blitz there, but the referee was in no condition to make the pin. Oh, my goodness, with the referee out cold. The Invader able to just nail Derek Arzon right below the belt with a full upper nut. Oh, no. I suppose turnabout is fair play. Derek Arzon certainly feeling the effects of that. Oh, goodness. And he just gets stunnered over that top rope as well. What absolutely fantastic action, ladies and gentlemen. We have not seen either one of these teams drop a fall yet. And the Invader just bouncing Derek Arzon's head like a basketball on that mat. Again, that mat's only about 1 inch thick, ladies and gentlemen. Arzon sent into the ring. Arzon could be concussed, folks. Speaking of concussed, the Spoiler is definitely the worse for wear outside. And the Invader just walks through the Spoiler. And Arzon taking a moment then to return the favor to the other Invader, picks him up, drops him spine first across the ground. Wow, would you look at that? Both tag team partners have been neutralized. We have one Invader and Derek Arzon left. At this point, this would be a great time for one or the other to go for some sort of pinning combination. Ooh, Arzon eats an elbow as he tries to run face first into... Oh, and look at that! Arzon catches him in a DDT! Just as the Spoiler is recovering, making his way back to his corner. Oh, would you look at the disrespect there. Arzon just kicking him in the face, going for that pin now. 1 and just a 1 count. Folks, this is going... Oh, would you look at that? The referee out again, does not see the low blow. Arzon with a thunderstroke, and then just gets folded in half by the Invader with a German suplex. Everybody is out, ladies and gentlemen. The referee is out, FU is out, one of the Invaders is out, only one Invader left standing. I believe that is Masked Invader number 1, and again just slamming Arzon again and again, head first into that mat. Grabs Arzon, sends him in. Referee is now thankfully back up again, but the Invader up to the top rope, and again that's Invader number 1, folks. Comes off with a leg drop to the back of the head of Arzon, goes for the pin. Again, Spoiler 3 able to make the save. Invader 1 sends Spoiler to the ropes. Nothing ends up happening. But Nikki Wilde standing up there arguing with the Invader. Doesn't see Schoolboy by Derek Arzon. Goodness me. Nikki Wilde providing a timely distraction that almost saw the Invaders drop a fall to the Schoolboy by Derek Arzon. And now we have an arm blitz. Arm blitz. Other Invader able to break it up. Wow, we have come very, very close to a fall on a couple of occasions here in favor of FU. Also, look at Derek Arzon's forehead, ladies and gentlemen. He has been busted open by the smash mouth tactics of the masked Invaders. And Spoiler has Invader number 1 up in a spoiler alert right in the center of the ring and gets broken up once again. And look at that there. Broken up, and he grabbed a hold of that bottom rope. Excellent, excellent ring awareness by the INCW Tag Team Champions. Spoiler has the Invader up. Oh, but gets arm dragged to the ground. The Invader's very, very solid with the fundamentals. Big body slam on Spoiler 3. A tag out to masked Invader number 2. What's he going to do, ladies and gentlemen? Spoiler is in deep enemy territory, but just sends Invader 2 crashing to the mat with a huge, big boot. And Spoiler outside the ring getting assaulted by the Invader, while inside the ring, Derek Arzon defending himself against a sneak attack. And Arzon's calling for that tag. Gets it. Hot tag. Arzon manhandled into the Invader's corner, though, but fights his way out. Oh, only to get struck by Invader 1. Wow, he's being ping-ponged back and forth by the two Invaders. And a big suplex. And he goes for a pin. 1, 2. And Spoiler able once again to break up that pin. Invader number 2 feeling it, stomping his feet. Gets caught by Arzon, sent to the corner. Has Derek Arzon up. And what in the world is he doing? He drops him face first right in front of the Spoiler. Some serious mind games happening there. Choking Derek Arzon out right at the feet of the Spoiler, right in the face of Nikki Wilde. The referee right there, though, so the other members of FU can't really do anything about it. Very bold mind games by Invader number 2, though. Tags out to Invader number 1. We still have yet to see a fall in this match. I have a feeling that when things happen, folks, they're going to happen fast. Derek Arzon with a big DDT on Invader number 1. Taunting him, daring him to stand. What's he going to do, ladies and gentlemen? Kick to the stomach. Suplex, no, a brain buster right on top of the knee. Goodness. Arzon sends the Invader in. Invader number 1 definitely dazed, but and takes a series of elbows into the solar plexus by Derek Arzon, who is losing buckets of blood. DDT. Invader number 1 managing to pull himself to his feet. Arzon out to make a tag. And a big 300-pound shoulder block. Shoulder block right to the head and chest area of Invader 1. And he has the Invader up. What's he going to do next? Spike pile driver. Wow, if he can get a pinfall, that's got to be it, ladies and gentlemen. Spoiler, though, taking it to the high rent district. What's he going to do, folks? What's he going to do? Oh! Series of attacks by both. But they aren't enough to stop. Spoiler goes for the pin. 1. And again, the Invader able to stop the pinfall. But he can't stop this. Spoiler has him up. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert to masked Invader number 1. But Invader number 2, again, able to break the pinfall. Again, we have yet to see one single fall in this match. These two are just going at it. We knew this was going to be a marathon going in, ladies and gentlemen. When you have skill of this aptitude, of this magnitude, when you have ego and talent coming together the way that both of these teams have, you've got to really get up early in the morning to put one over, to get an advantage over either one of these teams. Invader approaching Nicky Wild. Wild taunting him, but not moving. And would you look at that, folks? The Invader is preparing to try to get Spoiler counted out. I got to say that's not a terrible strategy. But the other Invader throws him in. Perhaps they're looking for a pinfall after all. Big shoulder block. Uh-oh, he's gone for a pin. Derek Arzon is out. Wait a minute, folks. 1, 2, and 3. That's why the Invader threw the Spoiler back in. You could see that he was out on his feet and ripe for a pinfall. We are now down by a fall here. FU is 1 fall behind. The Invaders just need 1 more to retain moral tag team superiority over FU. Will it be a replay of the INCW match that we all saw, or will Forever Unchained be able to score 2 in a row here? Spoiler bends Invader number 2 back and just hammers him in the chest. He is none too happy about being forced to take a pinfall. That doesn't happen very often, folks. Derek Arzon now in the ring. Comes around, floats over, DDT on Invader number 2. And he is measuring him. He is measuring the Masked Man. What's he going to do, ladies and gentlemen? Has him up. Thunder stroke right in the middle of the ring. But he is deep, deep on the enemy side of the ring. But that looks like it might have been part of a plan. Arm blitz on the illegal man. Trying to neutralize the illegal man here so he can finish off the Invader in the ring. Derek Arzon, though, definitely the worse for wear, hurting, tags out to the Spoiler. But the Spoiler walks right into an Invader power slam. Goes for the pin. Derek Arzon, wow, I didn't think Arzon was going to be able to help there. But Arzon is definitely paying for it now. Oh, he gets sent out of the ring. Spoiler is all alone, ladies and gentlemen, but the Spoiler handling himself well, as he always does. The Spoiler is as strong and powerful and dangerous as any 2 men combined, and he's proving it right now. Invader 1 knees the Spoiler and comes down with another Invader slam. Arzon still outside the ring. Wait, 1, 2. Oh my goodness. I thought that the Spoiler was getting pinned there, ladies and gentlemen. There was no one to help him. Wow, yes, indeed, he is rolling out of the ring, trying to regroup. FU was just a moment, just a split second away from being shut completely out in this match. The Invaders are starting to really build upon their advantage. Both members of FU are looking quite the worse for wear, looking exhausted, looking hurt. Oh, and a back rake, a vicious, vicious back rake right to the spinal area of the Spoiler. But Spoiler not out yet. Big knee drop to Invader number 1. Sends the Invader in. What is he going to do, folks? Everyone in this match is exhausted at this point. Spoiler dragging the Invader over to the Arzon side of the ring. But Invader number 1 jacks Spoiler's jaw. And he's got Arzon. Always a good move to try to neutralize the illegal man before going for a pin. Arzon definitely incapacitated. He was already sort of out on his feet, folks. Spoiler is all alone. If the Invaders are going to do anything, this would be the time to do it. Invader 1 tags out to Invader 2. What's he going to do? Spoiler just writhing in the ring and just getting his head slammed again and again into the mat. Nicky Wild outside the ring, beside herself, seeing her men the worse for wear. Oh, and spoiler, turnabout is fair play, takes Invader number 2 out. Both Invaders completely out. Spoiler using whatever energy he has left to try to go after his man. Invader number 1 sends Spoiler in. Heads back in the ring. Oh, and picks Spoiler up. What's he going to do with him? What's he going to do with him? Oh my goodness, screwdriver! Right in the center of the ring. Spoiler is beyond unconscious, folks. And the Invader has him. Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen. Derek Arzon tried to break it up, but the Masked Invaders with a submission win. They get 2 in a row, folks. After that screwdriver, I don't think there was anything the Spoiler could do. He was hurting really, really bad there. And then he got pulled into that abdominal stretch, and that was all that she wrote. FU put up a valiant fight. They used every dirty trick in the book, but they were out-tricked by the Invaders, using a series of low blows, using tag team tactics, taking full advantage of the hardware outside the ring. Your winners for a reason, the INCW Tag Team Champions, the Masked Invaders. But still an excellent showing by FU, but it's going to take something truly special to unseat this tag team, and they proved it tonight. We look forward to seeing more and more tag team action here in NWC. What a fantastic showing, ladies and gentlemen. And ladies and gentlemen, that will wrap it up for this Damion Black Birthday Spectacular, an NWC special for our World Champion. This has been a fun night of action, ladies and gentlemen, and we look forward to other holiday specials as NWC continues to roll on. And once again, thank you very much for joining us. 3 fantastic matches, 3 amazing showcases for our wonderful NWC talent, all in the name of celebrating the birthday of the man who made it all possible, the NWC World Champion, Damion Black. Well, thank you folks for joining us. I hope you have a wonderful week. Please join us this upcoming weekend for NWC Tonight, which of course has moved to Sundays, but again, new day, same time, 8 p.m. Central. Thank you once again for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Ronnie Stockholm. Have a wonderful week.